Starring Bela Day in.
But, Ma, that's my favorite movie. Oh, well, all right. But don't you spend too much time in front of that TV, do you hear me? Yes, Ma. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. But, Ma, that's my favorite movie. And I'm your host, B. Lade. And you know what, guys? I have got just completely confused with the days because I recently moved. I'm in a new apartment, just adjusting to a lot of different things. And so my butt got mixed up with the days. For some reason, I was thinking this previous week I was supposed to skip over it, but it was just the week before that. So the Thursday, the 10th, I was supposed to skip that week, but then the 17th, you were supposed to have an episode. And so my freaking scatterbrain self thought, oh yeah, I have another week I'm skipping. I don't know what I was thinking, guys, but you're going to end up getting 2 episodes this week so we can catch up and get you back on board with the content you were supposed to be getting. So yeah, like I mentioned, I moved and I mentioned that I think like in the Thanksgiving episode, things happened a lot quicker than I thought it was going to happen. So our original date it was supposed to happen didn't. There's just been so many things in between since I like pre-record the episode that has happened. So it's just been a lot. So y'all pray for me. But I mean, for the most part, everything's together. Everything's good. Everything's starting to smooth out now since I've actually moved. Because, of course, getting the house together and like I said, adjusting to a lot of different things. So yeah, it's been a lot. But everything's going good and we're wanting to get back on track because we're actually getting close. This is the third to last episode for this season this year. And I still need to prepare and kind of think of what I'm going to do for next season and when I actually intend to post next season's episodes. I'm not sure how long there's going to be a break in between. More than likely there is going to be because I just kind of get everything together and, I want it to be good quality and I want to make sure I'm in the right headspace and all of that good stuff. But we're definitely going to have a second season, but the end of the first season is going to end along with this year. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get straight into the episode because I know that's what y'all have been waiting for. I'm pretty sure y'all have missed me in my absence and you're like, dang, where's this girl at? What's going on? Well, I'm here. And like I do every time before I go any further into the episode, I have to thank my listeners. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. If you have been constantly coming back, listening to each episode, or if you're just listening and you went back and listened to other episodes, I really, really appreciate that. And that makes you a real one, period. And if you're a new listener, well, then welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by, for giving my podcast a listen. And you are definitely in for a treat, which we will hope will keep you coming back for more. Now, today's episode is titled, But Ma, That's Nightmare Before Christmas. So we are going to be talking about a solo movie once again in this episode. And this isn't just a movie. It's a Disney freaking classic that will stand the test of time. It's already proven itself as far as its like longevity and just what it's brought to the table. My little sisters watched it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to think anyone else in my family, but I know I grew up watching it. My sister did, my little sister. And so, this is like a timeless classic. Anyone should show their kids this movie. It's very family friendly. It looks darker than what it actually is. It's just a representation of Halloween, but we're gonna get into that. But and there's hasn't been anything quite like this done. And of course has Tim Burton's name on it. We're going to get into all those details, but the style and just everything is it's just different. It's cool, and it's very family friendly, and it's just really a good thing to like continue to show the youth to see something like that. It's just not your traditional, kind of movie. So it's very, very good. And I love to be able to talk about this movie because it definitely is one of the movies I love. I have my favorite movies, and then I have movies I love, and this is definitely one. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. And you know how I do, guys. Lights, camera, action. Jack, please. I'm only an elected official here. I can't make decisions by myself. That quote is by the mayor, who is actually voiced by Glenn Shaddix. I hope I'm saying his name right. Who was also in Beetlejuice, which we talked about in our Halloween episode, like Halloween movie episode. So yes, he is a reoccurring actor in a movie once again. And I love the mayor, and we're going to get into that. See, I feel like I kind of get ahead of myself with some things, but anywho. So yes, that's that quote. Now, Nightmare Before Christmas was released October 29th, 1993. So it was made a year after I was born, and October 29th, because I pay attention to the release dates and I give you information about it, in every movie I talk about. And I pay attention to it because I'm trying to see like the date it comes out. Does it kind of go with what it's about, especially movies that are holiday driven. And so October 29th release date is perfect for this movie. That would have been so exciting and, something to look forward to. So I thought that was very interesting and cool. All right, so we have the director Henry Selick, who also directed the movie Caroline and James and the Giant Peach. And even though this is, said it's labeled as a Tim Burton movie, Henry is the one who directs it. And you can tell this style is very similar to Tim Burton's. It has a very Tim Burton-esque aesthetic to it. But also Caroline and James and the Giant Peach. So you can kind of tell Henry and Tim Burton have very similar styles. So he was actually probably the most perfect person to direct this movie because of the style. But the writers, so we have Tim Burton listed for the characters. And we're going to get more into that and get into that when we get into our behind the scenes information. Tim Burton, he is a director of Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, many other classics. Then we have Michael McDowell, who does the adaptation. And I was kind of looking at that because I've seen that under like the writer's credits, they'll put in parentheses what exactly their part was in the writing portion. Not everyone is involved in the actual screenplay of it. So like what we hear on the actual screen. And the only thing that I can think of is that he adapted Tim Burton's poem and then someone turned into the screenplay. And I'm not sure what all that entails into that. I want to look into that more to see because that's something I'm super curious about. But anyways, Michael McDowell, he was also a writer on Beetlejuice in the movie Thinner. And if y'all have not seen the movie Thinner, y'all should watch that. And that's one I'm definitely going to do in the future as well because I love that movie. Then we have Caroline Thompson, who does the screenplay. She also did the screenplay for Addams Family and Edward Scissorhands. So basically, these two writers have worked with Tim Burton before. So it seems everyone on board is perfect for this movie. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the summary of it. So this is a tale about Halloween Town, okay? So this is where we're getting a glimpse into what Halloween is. But I don't know, it's weird because at the beginning of the movie, it starts off and it says, this is how we're showing you Halloween was made, but it's not really showing how it was made. It's just showing us like Halloween Town, if literally Halloween was like if it was in its own form. And the Hello everyone, this is Bila Day. Sorry to interrupt this episode, but I just wanted to let you know that you were only listening to a preview. So if you would like to listen to the rest of this episode, then you can definitely go to the website, butmathat'smyfavoritemovie.com, or you can go directly to any of these platforms for the full episode. We are available on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Castbox. Please don't hesitate to follow the podcast on any of those platforms so that you can be notified anytime a new episode is available. If you didn't know, our primary release day is every Thursday, but be on the lookout for bonus content as well. Now, if you've listened to the But Ma, That's My Favorite Movie podcast before, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. So if you have a friend that loves movies like we do, then definitely go ahead and share this podcast with them. And if you're a new listener and you do end up enjoying the podcast, well, then you go ahead and share with a friend too. Also, don't forget to like any of our social media pages so that you can also get updates and regular information about the podcast and about any of the episodes that are coming up. The social media sites that we have a presence on are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And also, if you want to leave a review, whether constructive or positive, we'd appreciate that too. All right, go ahead and get over to one of the other platforms so we can finish getting into the rest of these movies.